No, I'm not returning to Uber. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Welcome to my channel. If you happen to like videos like this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and comment below on what you would like to see discussed in the future here on the Apptrepreneur channel. And this is obviously going to be a follow-up video to yesterday's video, which is where I revealed that I had lost my job. And just because for some reason it came up a few times, I'm just going to say no, it was not reverse mortgages. It's not even close. I mean, I'm not going to turn this into like a guessing game, but I thought it was funny how, like I said, I dealt with mortgages and people are like, oh, probably reverse mortgages. Like, no, I didn't. But there was something that came up way more often in the comments of that video. And to be perfectly honest, I was expecting it. And some of it was serious, some of it was joking. But of course it was, well, you could always drive for Uber or Lyft. You can basically go back to the gig economy. And the answer is no, I'm not going to be returning to Uber and Lyft. I might make another video or two about them since now I have a lot more free time and need to come up with daily content. And, you know, they're still being dumb enough just to like maybe comment on them once in a while at this point in time. But no, I'm not going to be going back to Uber and Lyft. And I know some people are wondering why. I mean, isn't this what Uber and Lyft is for? And especially now that you've got a hybrid, I mean, if anyone's not going to be hurt by the gas as much, it's going to be me, right? So clearly, I should get out there, get some bonus streaks, and just start providing for my family again, right? Well, look, here's the thing. I think the fact that I'm getting this comment a lot kind of goes to show how I totally mismanaged this channel to a certain extent. I am not called Uberman. I am not called the rideshare guy. I am not Rideshare Revolution. I am not No Limitation Rideshare. I am not Rideshare anything. I am the Apptrepreneur, and the Apptrepreneur was meant to symbolize that I made money through apps. In fact, some people kind of forget this was kind of a DoorDash channel when I first started. I was making DoorDash videos, and Uber and Lyft and Postmates were a natural extension of the DoorDash thing that I was doing, especially since even though I was an elite dasher, apparently that wasn't enough to keep me around DoorDash. So, you know, I've made videos about that. Old videos, but you can watch them nonetheless. And basically, the thing about being in the gig economy, it kind of feels like you have a bunch of ex-girlfriends in your path. Okay, you dated DoorDash for a while. That didn't work out. She dumped you. Okay, you tried Shipped for a little while. That didn't work out. I dumped her. Lyft, have an on-again, off-again relationship. But Uber was like that crazy girl that everybody said was trouble from the outside, and you knew you probably should have broken up with her a lot sooner, but you didn't because she was just so dang crazy. You were afraid what she was going to do. And that's basically what happened there. Like, Uber was such a dysfunctional company, and they were giving such daily things to talk about, like of course the channel turned into an Uber channel, but it was never the intent. And no, I'm not going to go over this whole spiel again. Don't worry. This video is going in a different direction. I just have to get it out of the way. But yeah, it was never supposed to be a fully Uber channel. And then, I mean, the strange thing was, I think Dark Road Run once called Uber like the abusive girlfriend or the abusive boyfriend who, you know, you hope is going to change, but never actually does. And in fact, just continues to abuse you more and more. And that is what Uber became. And you know, the more upset about it I got, and the more I alienated my audience. So, first of all, I do not need that headache back in my life. It's like there are some people you break up with, and you break up with them for good. You just don't go back to them. And here's the bigger reason why I'm not going back. Because, you know, one of the things I say is you do what you have to do. And that is perfectly fine. I will never criticize someone who does what they have to do for their family. That is their choice, and it is admirable. But here's the thing. I am not in a position to go back to that abusive relationship. Yeah, I did in the video mention that, hey, if you want to do something a little extra, you can do this. You can buy something from my Bonanza store. But you'll notice I wasn't really begging. In fact, the biggest thing I asked is, watch the videos, comment on them, like them, share them, all free. And this is how you can help me. And then the rest I've got to figure out. And someone actually commented that I should actually make videos about what it's like applying for work. That's actually not a terrible idea. I mean, the only bad thing about that, and I haven't quite figured out how to do it, is that I would, in a sense, be showing you where I was applying to work, and that creates some problems, not only for me, but for the people who might potentially hire me. But I have already started making other videos showing how I am making it through. And here's the thing. The bigger message that I wanted to get out yesterday, and this is going to tie into why I'm not going to go back to Uber, is that thankfully I was in a position for the last couple years to save properly and to prepare. Like, those Robinhood stocks, and yeah, they've taken a hit, but I've got stocks, I've got savings, I've got side hustles that I can do without having to leave the house for the most part if I so choose. Like, let me show you something real quick. Let me show you something. So a couple days before I was fired, and I'm glad this happened a couple days before I was fired, because I might have actually chickened out and not done this. I bought a bunch of these. What are these? They're iPod Touches. They are iPod Touches. This is a 128 gigabyte space gray, which I tried to focus on the 256, but in some cases just kind of had to do it. And I bought way too many of these, but to be blunt, I spent thousands of dollars on these things, and I've got a bunch of them. Here's the thing, though. I've already sold 4 of them, and I sold 4 of them around $800 to $900 each. The most expensive one with tax is $427. So not only am I well in the right, I'm on the right trajectory, I should say, to not only recoup the money fast, it is going to provide so much money that I desperately need during this transitional period. Let me put this down now. And here's the thing, that's the kind of business that I want to be doing. What does Uber have to offer me? I mean, really, what does it have to offer me? Okay, it offers me a few bonus bucks here and there. If I do 10 trips, they'll give me an extra $20. Boring. I'm not a whore. I do 20 trips, you give me $100. You know what? You pay me what I'm worth. You pay me at least the minimum wage. And you know what? Considering that it is my car, my gas, my music, considering that I am putting my life in danger, I should be getting substantially more than what Uber and Lyft are paying me, even with their bonuses. So since Uber and Lyft don't value me, I don't value them. But here's another reason I'm not going to go back. During this time period while I was doing all these side gigs and these side hustles that I've sometimes talked about on this channel, sometimes I have not, the thing is, I have been able to do something that I was not able to do really when I was working for Uber. Unless it was very early on and they were paying over $2 per mile, I could save when they were paying me more than $2 per mile, plus the surge multiplier and all that jazz. But you know what happens as time goes on? Well, they cut the rates. The surge multiplier goes away from me, and you start making so little money that you cannot afford to save. And I've realized something. If you are not being paid enough to save money, then you are not being paid enough to live. Because what happens if Uber one day decides they just don't want you anymore, or they're going to kick you off, or your car breaks? I mean, unlikely because I have a 2022, but what happens? I mean, there are so many things that could go wrong, and then you're out of that job. You can't make money doing that anymore. And oh, by the way, that was your main source of income. You didn't have any savings. This is more and more what I'm finding from the people who never got out of it. The people who never got out of it, by and large, just ended up losing their savings. They drove their cars into the ground. You know what? I do not need to purposefully walk into a situation that I know is bad for me. Here's the thing. If I think I said it in yesterday's video, but it bears repeating now. I made enough money and saved enough money over the past few years, especially since leaving Uber, that if we made absolutely no lifestyle changes, we could live for about 8 months comfortably. And if we make lifestyle changes, we can live a lot longer than that. And we are definitely going to make changes because it's the smart thing to do. But you know what's not going to help that situation is a company that drains you. And look, I've talked about this over and over in other videos. You can go back and watch them. In fact, please do. It'll help me out a little bit at this point. But Uber and Lyft prey on desperate people. People who they just cannot think of anything else to do. So they get in their car, they start burning up their mileage, they start destroying their vehicle, their marriage starts to fall apart because they're never home, because they don't have time to be at home. All the while, they are never getting ahead, and they feel like they have to do it, but really doing this makes the situation worse. No, I absolutely refuse to be that person. I've seen it happen. I see that Uber and Lyft never changed in that regard, and I simply refuse. You know what? There is a Del Taco down the street. They are paying $21 an hour. If I have to go to Del Taco and make tacos one day, I will gladly do it, because you know what? Hey, at $21 an hour, that's contributing to the solution. With what Uber is paying, that is contributing to the problem. Uber and Lyft want me to go to them, almost like Oliver Twist. Please, sir, may I have some more? And they're Fagin. It's like they're going to say, oh, we're going to take you in. We're going to teach you a trade. We're going to do this. But you know what you're really doing? You're really ruining my life. You're really making it so that there is almost no possibility of getting out of a bad situation. And you are giving just enough that it feels like I'm getting something, but you're not giving me enough to get out of the situation. Therefore, I am now dependent on you, Uber/Fagin. So, I mean, look, some people said this in jest. Some people said they were joking. Some people said it out of pure hatred. They still don't like me for whatever reason. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I've come to accept not everyone will like me. And then some people said it out of genuine concern. That's perfectly fine. But whatever, or not whatever, whoever said it and for whatever reason, this is a bad relationship. Uber wants people who are desperate enough to think that Uber will be part of the solution when really they're going to add to the problem. So no, I will not be going back to Uber. I will not be going back to Lyft. Now, DoorDash and Postmates, that might be slightly different, if only because you really do not do a lot of driving in those circumstances. But I am confident at this point that I will not have to do it. In fact, if anything, this is going to be a little break in the workflow. You know, I will put out my applications. There's tons of people hiring for a variety of remote jobs that I qualify for. I'm just going to make more videos. Who knows? Maybe the channel will get more interesting. And also, just for your guys' sake, I will be making that part 3 of the gig is up video, because I know it's a little overdue. Clearly, I got sidestepped a little bit. I might even talk a little bit about Uber and Lyft news, because you know what? Why the heck not? I've got time. They're usually in the news. I might as well, you know, monetize that just a little bit. But am I going to go back to driving? No, I absolutely will not. There are other YouTubers out there who they do drive, and they will tell you that this can work. I'm not going to be one of those people, because I don't feel like lying to you. And I'm not going to lie to myself either. I mean, I will admit that there was a brief moment, very brief moment, where I said, well, maybe I do just a little bit of Uber just to get some gas money. But it's a fallacy. It's a lie. I mean, yeah, I would get some gas money, and you know what that gas money would go towards? The gas that I use to drive for Uber. That's what it's going to go for. And I'm too smart to fall for that again. So, anyway, thank you for all the well wishes. Thank you for your concern. And yeah, I figured it was just a good time to clarify. And I also want to stress I was not super depressed when I made that video yesterday, which I really made a few days ago. I was just venting. That's what you do on YouTube. But I am in a very good position and I am going to be fine. And to the people who recognize that, thank you for recognizing that. In the meantime, let's talk about apps, pop culture, and life in between throughout the week and the future weeks, however long this shall last. And you know the drill. I'd love your comments on all of this. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.